Reverend Joe and Robin a wonderful night off. So let's send them muchos besos. Okay, lots of kisses and hugs and wonderfulness. All right. So I'm curious if there's anyone who's here for the first time. Ooh, welcome in the back. Welcome, welcome. Oh, very good, very good. And for the rest of you, bring your friends. Let's get some more people in here because live music in Albuquerque is wonderful and we want to continue to support that as much as possible. And so we want to welcome you to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. We are a holy and inclusive community where we welcome all paths to God. We're happy to be sharing the journey together because life is hard. And it's nice to be able to support each other in love and understanding. So also, in addition to wonderful music on Fridays and a Sunday service where we'd love to see you, this whole space is available for rent. In fact, Donna is going to have her 80th birthday party here. Woo! It'll be very exciting. So let us know if you need a space for your family function or dysfunction. You're welcome to have it here. All right. So just a few logistics. There are a couple exits. There's one behind the sound booth that way, and there's the one where you came in. The restrooms are behind the wall, right there. In fact, you can see the sign that says restrooms, and it's pointing. So we've got to take care of those kinds of things. Also, we really do appreciate your donations. So if you look for the table tents on the tables or the jars that are on the tables, we really appreciate your financial support because it's really important not only for this building, we have to keep paying to rent out the building and do all the things that churches have to do, but we also really believe in paying our musicians because live music deserves to be paid. So thank you so much for supporting us in every way that you possibly can. And then also, I want to remind you that on the 31st, Halloween is on a Friday, we're going to have an extra special Solid Ground. It's an open mic for poetry for Dia de los Muertos, so you can bring poems that honor your ancestors. So it's an extra special night. Think about it. See what you might do. It could be wonderful. We'd love to have you here. So the way that this works, just in case if you're new, is that our director of musical inspiration, Susan Clark, is going to introduce our amazing musicians tonight. You are in for such a treat. And then we'll have some incredible music. Then we're going to have intermission where you can have some more treats and go to the restroom, meet new people, have an awesome time. Then we're going to gather back together for just about 5 minutes of inspiration, do-off thing here that we do. And then we'll have a second round of music, and then we'll call it. So that's the game plan for tonight. I think that sounds wonderful. Susan, our director of musical inspiration, come on down.
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. Come on down. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Hi, Ann. Hi, Richard. Before I introduce tonight's act, I want to talk about next week. We have the Ron Crowder Band, and they're going to bring a little rock and roll in this room. So please come by for that. And it's even rumored that somebody might be singing with Ron on one song because Ron and I co-wrote a song together during COVID, and he just asked me, he said, well, would you come up and sing with me? I said, sure, yes, I will. So come by for that. And Kamatar already mentioned the poetry night on the 31st. And Lou, do they sign up for that online? Okay. Sign up. Is there a sign-up sheet here? There will be. Okay. Yes, so keep that in mind, and there's something else I was going to say, and now I can't remember. So I'll just go on to introducing Scott and Johanna. How about that? How many of you have seen them before? You're in for a real treat. This is something you don't get to see too many places at all. We're so happy to have them. A little bit about them. They are a duo who perform early traditional Scandinavian and Celtic ballads and tales. The storytelling is one of my favorite parts of their show. Their wanderings have led them from Finland and Iowa, respectively, through Europe, Scandinavia, India, and North America. On the way, they have picked up tales and songs that they perform together with the stories behind them, in particular exploring the links between Scandinavian, Celtic, North American, and other storied singing traditions. Three of their recordings have been nominated for Best Vocal Performance by the New Mexico Music Awards 2014, 2016, 2020. 2020, that was high cotton COVID time, right? Yeah, yeah, we remember that, right? Their performances have been described as magical, inspiring, haunting, and mesmerizing. After relocating to New Mexico from Scandinavia in 2001, that was a big change, probably, I'm thinking. Scott and Johanna have performed at festivals, theaters, art councils, universities, schools, libraries, and live broadcasts. And you know, I was chatting with Scott while they were doing their setup and their sound check because they were with us last year. And Scott let me know that that their songs, their performance tonight is totally different than what they did last year, which I commend you for that. That takes a lot of work to keep up with that. So, without further ado, we have Scott and Johanna coming to entertain you.
was a medieval ballad from Sweden. And medieval ballads are narrative songs. Long time ago, before there was Netflix and all that, to tell stories, people used very often different kinds of narrative songs, and always been interested in this kind of music and performing. And even went to India to study another kind of narrative songs and dance, and because to compare how people do it all over the world. And what's common everywhere, it's usually about romance, drama, terrible things happening, and generally very dramatic stories. And we are going to tell you a very dramatic, romantic story. And we're going to use ballads from Scandinavia, the British Isles, France, and also a couple of songs from India that I learned when I went to study there, to tell you this story. And it's based also on a tale that was written by an author called Marie de France, who was one of the few medieval female authors whose work have survived to our days. And when she wrote her tales, according to herself, she was usually inspired by these traditional ballad singers and mixed them all together. So this story starts a dark and windy night, of course, on a small path through a thick forest. A young girl can be seen hurrying, and in her arms she's holding a newborn child. It's not her child, though. The mother is a rich and wealthy lady. A rich and wealthy lady who is a little too fond of gossip. So that when a few months earlier, this lady heard that one of her neighbors had given birth to twins, she said, "Oh, quel scandale." You know what they say, if there's two babies, there must have been two, suitors. Well, imagine her dismay when a few months later, she herself gave birth to twin girls. She picked up one of the little babies, a beautiful girl with big brown eyes, and she said, "I will call you Hazel." The other baby she gave to her servant girl and said, "Bring it to the nearby convent and leave it there." And that is why we find this girl hurrying on this lonely road. And as she was approaching this convent, she could hear dogs barking in the distance. So she did not want to leave the baby on the ground. That could be dangerous. However, just outside the door, there was this big ash tree with two branches that created a perfect little cradle. So that's where she placed the baby, wrapped in a very, very valuable cloth. So the next morning, the groundskeeper of the convent came out and was very happy when he saw this very expensive and golden brocade bedspread hanging from the tree. And he was a little surprised and maybe also a little disappointed when he realized it contained a baby. But he was an honest man and he brought it into the nuns, and that is how this girl came to grow up at the convent. And since she was found in an ash tree, they called her La Frêne, which means the ash tree in French. But her friends, they called her Franny, and she grew up to become a very pretty girl. ja, men det kan jag ej bli, ej heller må ni det ha begära. Jag haver så mången som vaktar upp på mig och haver tillbjudit min ära. På mig så vaktar fader, på mig så vaktar mor, på mig vaktar syskonen kära. På mig vaktar greven, min förra fästeman, som haver tillbjudit mig sin ära. Med Magda på, men med mig i stolen i följa. Med mig ska du följa i främmande land och bliva min unga brudfurstinna. Tillsammans det voro i 800 år, sjösöner det hade tillsammans. Men när som det lev på det 9:e år, en annan furstinna han begör det. Thank you. So, one day, a very rich, wealthy and handsome man came to visit the convent. And when he saw Franny, he liked what he saw. So he came back, and again he came back, which was very good for the nuns, because each time he had to bring a donation as an excuse. But really, he came to see Franny. And, well, as mentioned, he was very handsome and rich and interesting, so she fell in love with him. And one day he asked her, Franny, what would you say about living in a real castle? Ooh. Well, why don't you come with me and live with me in my castle? And well, she was in love. I'm very young, not very experienced, so she said yes. And so they sailed across the sea to his castle. And there they lived happily for many years. And she gave birth to 7 sons. However, in those days, it was very important for rich and wealthy men to have an heir. And though he had 7 sons, he had never married Franny, and he couldn't really marry her since she was nothing but a poor orphan. So one day he came to her and said, Franny, it's been really nice all these years. But I'm sure you understand, I have to marry a real lady. Don't worry, you and the boys, you can stay here at the castle, just a little more in the background maybe, because I am going to find myself a real bride. Learn to make your bed, Franny, and learn to lie alone. For I'm going over the salt seas, a fair lady to bring home. With her I'll get gold and gear. With you I never got none. I took you as a waif woman, and I leave you all the same. But she that welcomes my brisk bride must look maiden-like. She must comb down her yellow lock and lay them in her neck. But how can I look maiden-like when maiden I am not? Have I not borne 7 sons to thee, and am with child again? The first one of your sons, my lord, could be heir of all your land. The second of your sons, my lord, could stand at your right hand. The third one of your sons, my lord, he serves your beer and wine. And the fourth one of your sons, my lord, he serves you when you dine. The fifth one of your sons, my lord, he can both read and write. And the sixth one of your sons, my lord, he is so very bright. The seventh of your sons, my lord, sits on the nurse's knee. And I look maiden-like when maid I'll never be. Bind up your yellow hair and tie it in your neck, and see that you look as maiden-like as the first day that we met. Oh, I'll put roses in my hair and ribbons in my gown, and I will look as maiden-like as the bride that you bring home. And so he left. Well, poor Franny, what was she to do? Now, she was supposed to just live there in the castle and just hide all her feelings and not show what she was thinking at all. And she was thinking, but how will I be able to do that? I was so young when we met each other, and he was so generous towards me. But now, look at this, he has forgotten me completely. And at night, she was having nightmares. Last night, I dreamt I saw the two of them so nicely together on the bed. And I can't even remember, what did she look like? Was she beautiful? Was she very young and pretty? Was her waist slim like a thread? I can't even remember. I was just so upset, it tore my heart apart. Well, one day, when Franny was looking out over the sea, she saw his ship coming back, followed by 7 other ships. He had found a lady, a very rich and wealthy lady. Her name was Hazel. And she was coming there with 6 ships full of dowry, gold and jewels and riches. And there was a very, very lavish affair. That the wedding was fantastic. And Franny, she was kept busy helping, serving, and organizing. And she was put in charge to organize and prepare the wedding chamber. But that's when she had enough. And she thought, no, I'm not going to let him forget me this easily. So she went to her room and she took her old bedspread, the one she had been found in as a baby, and the one she had shared with the man of the house for all these years, and she put that on the bed because she thought, well, like that, he'll recognize that and he'll think of me. And then she went and dressed up her little boys in their absolute finest. And then she dressed herself in the most lavish dress you can imagine. She was the most well-dressed person at the wedding. People actually thought she was the bride. And when she was ready, the dancing had begun, and she joined the dance, and she dominated the dance.
La belle n'y a pas manqué, se fait faire 3 robes, chanter, rossignoler. La belle n'y a pas manqué, se fait faire 3 robes. Une de satin blanc, la autre de satin rose, chanter, rossignoler. Une de satin blanc, la autre de satin rose. Une de drap d'eau, pour marquer qu'elle est noble, chanter, rossignoler. Une de drap d'eau, pour marquer qu'elle est noble. De plus loin qu'on la voit, voici la mariée, chanter, signoler. De plus loin qu'on la voit, voici la mariée. La mariée je suis la délaissée, chanter, signoler. La mariée je suis la délaissée. L'amant qui la salue, la prend pour sa main blanche, chanter, signoler. L'amant qui la salue, la prend pour sa main blanche, la prend pour faire un petit tour de danse, chanter, signoler. La prend pour faire un petit tour de danse.
Thank you. But, even the most festive of evenings come to an end. And soon it was getting late and time for the bride and groom to retire. And according to tradition, the priest went and blessed the wedding room, wedding chamber, and then the couple was led into their chamber and the door was closed. Well, Franny, she went to her room and she got her harp. And then she went and sat right outside their door and sang a little song. Now, the bride got a little nervous when she heard this song and started to ask the groom who this lady was and why she was singing the way she did about their 7 sons. And, it got a little loud. And the mother of the bride, who was sleeping in the very next chamber, she woke up and she ran into the bedchamber. And she said, "Hey, sir, what's the matter? What's going on?" And then she froze. She was staring at the bed. "Where did you get that bedspread?" she asked. "Oh, I don't know," said the groom. "It was Franny who made the bed. Franny, come in here. Where did you get that bedspread?" "Oh, my lord," said Franny, "that is my bedspread. I've had it all my life. In fact, I was found in it as an orphan." Oh, the mother of the bride fainted. And when she came to, she stared at Franny. She said, "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm called Lafrenne because I was found in this very bedspread in an ash tree, but my friends call me Franny." She stared at her, at the bedspread, and at her daughter. "Oh, my 2 little girls, my 2 little trees. There's something I have to tell you." And then she told them, most of the whole sad story of, you have to understand, she had to give away one of her babies because the scandal would have been way too much. "Well, that's it," said the bride. "I'm out of here. But, mother, you better start working on my next dowry because I'm leaving mine here for Franny so she can bring up her sons."
They was gone when night was come, and all were bound for Bath. The bridegroom and his bonny bride to their chamber were led, and he went a little for while to hear what they might say. And never, alas, for any cry that I should see this day. She took a harp into her hands, went to the chamber door, and nay she harped, and nay she moaned, with her soft tears falling over. Seven praise songs I have borne to the Lord lie still and sleep away. It's nothing but my old servant who waileth over me. Up and spoke that new-come bride, full of jealousy. I think there's something here, my lord, you wish to hide from me. My gown is sunset, the new-come bride. My shoes are on my feet, and I will go to this lady's chamber to see what makes her weep. My shoes are on my feet, my gloves are on my hands, and you will come to your bed, Annie, for I have done you no wrong. 7 ships did bring me here, one shall bring me home. 6 I will leave for my sister Annie to bring up her children young.
Thank you. So we are going to take a little break and yes.
Yay. I'm on. Hello. So that was amazing, Scott and Johanna. Was that not just spellbinding?
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. And the story, I was on the edge of my seat, especially with the mother-in-law and the cloth, and I was losing it. That was an amazing story. I love good storytelling. So yes, it is intermission time, so please have some more treats, use the restrooms, and I double dare you, meet someone you don't know. This is your community. We love hearing live music. We love supporting each other. And there are similar people here almost week in, week out, but there are also some new people. So branch out, meet some more people. There's also CDs at the merch table. And there's wonderful ways that you can connect with their amazing music. So please support the musicians and support each other. We're going to reconvene at 8 o'clock. Break. Oh, very good, very good. All right. Well, welcome back. I hope you had a beautiful break, and I know we're all ready for more stories and more songs. So, I'm going to invite you to settle in, finish up your conversations. All right. Thanks so much for finishing up your conversations. Excellent. So, I'm just curious. We're going to do a little shout out. I want you to think about what is your favorite season. And I'm going to count to 3, and you're all going to shout out, what is your favorite season? Wait, I didn't even get to count. Okay, wait, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've got some definite springs in the house, but I also was hearing a lot of fall. And I do have to say, as you can tell by my fabulous outfit, I love the fall. I love the fall so, so much. Not only because there's the, obviously in Albuquerque, it's especially special because of Balloon Fiesta. But also, we do have some seasons here. The fall colors are just gorgeous. And of course, it's so much fun because it kicks off the holiday season. It's like from Halloween to New Year's Eve, party, 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 fun, 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 which is great because as it's getting darker and darker and darker, it's wonderful to have more music and festivities and lights and all the good things. And of course, in the desert, we appreciate the cooler temps because then we get to get cozy and snuggly and all those good things. But also nature. I'll just wait for a moment here. We're getting settled. All right. Nature has some wonderful lessons for us, especially the fall. And so I could probably be up here all night if I wanted to, but I just picked out 2 short little lessons here from the fall. So in the fall, we get to celebrate the sweetness or perhaps the bittersweetness of impermanence. So just think about the word impermanence, that things aren't permanent, right? That they change, and we think about the trees letting go of their leaves, that we can't stay frozen in time. And I know for the parents and grandparents in the room, we always say, oh my gosh, they grow up so fast. Like if they could just be 5 forever, that would, wouldn't that be wonderful? But then again, just imagine if you were 13 forever. Oh, yeah, that hurts. So the growth, the change, the different ages and stages, they're important. They're good, even though it's tough that things come to close, but it's the natural cycle of things, that things close, we let go, And of course, way leads on to way, and nothing gold can stay, just to give you two pieces of Robert Frost poems. So really thinking about how important it is to let go and to let things change. And the second thing that I really love about fall is that it reminds us that even nature, everything needs to take a rest. This is the rest of nature. It has to, things fall, we're preparing for winter. It's really important for us to replenish ourselves. Otherwise, we will never be able to have new growth and new expressions. And rest is essential so we can handle all the demands of life. So you get this huge explosion of color, and then it falls, and then we rest. It is really important. Just like soil, we need to be fallow sometimes. And I think that's very undervalued in our society. It's go, 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 do, and color all the time. As opposed to, no, we need to rest. We need to take it easy. We need to replenish our souls. We need to slow down. And we need to let stuff go. It's really important. So a few quotes for you from some of our Buddhist friends. They say this existence of ours is as transient as autumn clouds. The beautiful thing about impermanence is that it opens the door to transformation. And when you realize the beauty of impermanence, then you begin to love more deeply. And finally, change is the essence of life. Be willing to surrender what you are for what you may become. And so some questions for you to consider this week, should you choose to accept the challenge, is to consider, well, what are you holding on to in the past that maybe is overstayed its due? Is there something that you could let go of? Where am I not allowing change that really needs to happen? To have a death grip on something? Where might change be really refreshing and helpful and replenishing? Is there any way to loosen that attachment, to let go? Another question, maybe this one works for you this week. How might you rest some more? And guilt-free, judgment-free rest and replenishment. What actually helps you to remember to rest? That's an interesting question. And the bigger question is, what replenishes your soul? And are you doing those things? I know for a lot of us, this Friday night Solid Grounds music time is a time when we get to replenish our soul and have community and have live music and tell stories and share treats and just, take a time out and rest and have a beautiful time together. But what else? What else do you do that replenishes your soul? Because we need that right now, especially with how hard life is life and all the stuff that's happening out there. I hope that you'll take care of yourself this fall to remember to let stuff go and to take a good rest. So thank you. It's time to bring up our amazing storyteller and songstress and all the instruments in that bag. That's like such a bag of fun. Did you see this amazing bag and stringed instruments? Are there special names for the stringed instruments that you have? I'm so curious. Aren't you curious? Okay, we'll get there. So Scott and Johanna coming back up to the stage for round 2 of music. And please, if you haven't already given a donation for this wonderful live music in this great venue, please help us out. There's a QR code on the table tents, or there's some jars if you have other, folding money or whatnot, or you can go to the website and make a donation there. We really appreciate your support to keep live music happening here at Solid Grounds. All right. Without further ado, Scott and Johanna.
Thank you. Yes, that's a lot of things to think about. We can rest and renew in the fall. So, speaking about holding on to old things, so apart from really old songs, I always found it very interesting to explore also old-fashioned instruments. And for example, this here. In in the old days, people had to make their own instruments. There wasn't music stores, so you would take whatever you had access to at home on the farm. And this instrument is called. It has different names depending on where it comes. In Sweden, it's called a tagelharpa. In Finland, it's called a jouhikko. In Estonia, it's called a hiukannel. All those words basically means hair harp, and that is because this is a piece of wood and it has strings of horsehair, which makes it almost impossible to tune, and it never stays in tune because horsehair, like any hair, reacts to humidity and temperature constantly.
Like having a bad hair day every day.
Yes. And it's also called a bowed lyre because it's a lyre. It doesn't have frets here, but I'm going to use a bow. The other instrument I played before, it's a Kravik lyra, which means a lyre from Kravik, which is a place in Norway. And both these instruments, they were popular once upon a time but then once in the 1800s, when people slowly were able to get their hands on more modern instruments like fiddles and accordions and all that, they sort of petered out. Nobody used them anymore. But they have found a little bit of a revival in some. They survived at the fringes of Europe, like the Nordic countries and Shetland Islands and places like that. And sorry, Ireland has a horsehair harp too. Well, yeah. So fringes. Well, now they are slowly coming back all over Europe, I think, because they're sort of fun. And then I also play different kinds of flutes. So we are going to do another. This is a ballad from actually where I come from, which is an island in the Baltic Sea that belongs to Finland, but has a population that speaks Swedish. That's a little complicated, but anyway, that's how it is. And I'm going to sing this in Swedish, so I'll tell you the story before. It's basically the same story as the Greek myth of Oedipus. However, it doesn't end as badly. There is this, the son of the King of England visits this little island, and one of the girls has a baby because of that, and in secret. And she decides she's going to hide that baby, so she puts him in a little box and pushes him out to sea and hopes that somebody will find the baby. However, that box sort of comes back to land, and the person who finds the baby is her father. And he brings up the boy as his own son and promises, when you turn 15, you will marry my daughter. And that happens, and of course, it's a little embarrassing, but she has to tell him, I'm sorry, but I am your mother. We just cannot get married. But while the Greek myth ends very badly, in this version, when the king finds out the next morning, like, no, his marriage did go nowhere because she is his mother, he just said, oh, I did not see that coming. That's the end of the story.
vakna var väl även före damarna. Konungen honom sin dotter då, men jungfrun var tagen till måndag. Det drucko i dagar, det drucko i två, väl även före damarna. Inte vill bruden åt sängen gå, men jungfrun var tagen till måndag. händer ihop, när levern varit om en dag. Detta, det jag inte trott, en jungfrun var kommen till måndag.
So this is another very old-fashioned instrument. Already the Neanderthals played this. This happens to be a moose bone and made by a man who lived in Norway until recently. So our next song is not about a moose, but almost. It's about a deer. And this is a French medieval ballad. There's this young girl, and she has a problem. Every night, she turns into a deer and runs out into the woods. And to make it even more complicated, her brother loves hunting deer in the forest at night with his buddies. So this young girl, she asks her mother to please tell the brother to stop hunting deer at night.
Je me chantais ici, là, blanche biche, je me chantais ici, là, blanche biche, ce n'est pas une biche, c'est une jeune fille, ce n'est pas une biche. C'est une jeune fille. Southern breeze suivit le jour, la nuit, un chabiche, la chasse d'après moi, les barons et les princes suivit le jour, et la chasse gentille aux ancêtres nous, et la chasse gentille, il suivit dans les bois, à coup d'un chabiche, il s'en est dans les bois, à coup d'un chabiche, suivit le jour, la nuit, un chabiche, la chasse d'après moi, les barons et les princes suivaient le dos, avec la chabriche, la chasse des nous, arrête, je t'en prie, pour suivre le journée, la nuit comme de vivre, parfois les accornus, les barons et cuir, suivit le jour, la nuit, un chabiche, la chasse d'après moi, les barons et les princes suivit le jour, la nuit, un chabiche, la chasse d'après moi, les barons et les princes.
Thank you. Well, now we're going to talk about trolls. Now, trolls or giants, or they are called different things in different places, but it's a kind of character that you can find almost everywhere. I would say everywhere in the world, in tales and stories. And it was last fall I suddenly felt I needed some troll songs and how to vanquish trolls. So I found a couple. And what they have in common, these trolls, it's that they are very big and strong. And they're rich and powerful. And they terrorize everybody around them. However, they're not very smart. And that is why the troll usually ends up badly in every single story. So we're going to first do a Norwegian medieval ballad. So there is this troll that has been making trouble. And the hero Viderik, he rides out into the woods and he finds the troll sleeping out there in the woods and he challenges him. And the troll, he thinks, oh, this little thing there, I can easily get rid of him. And he takes his big iron spear and he tries to hit Videre, but he misses. And he hits so hard that his spear it gets stuck in the hill. And that's how he is vanquished.
Nedre krider åt skogen fram. Skogen gör som så trång. Där fann han på det stora troll. Han var både bred och lång. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Det var högbenresaren, han lyfte upp sitt öra. Vad är det för en liten fågel som ut i skogen jag hörde? Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Här har jag legat i 15 år på min vänstra sida. Rid nu bort fagerungersvän, om ni lyster längre leva. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Han viste honom en stor sten, men Vidre orkade ej röra. Vägvän tager den med fingrar två, lyfter den till sitt öra. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Var du fagerungersvän, nu månne du väl häpna. Jag är starkare i fingrar två än du i båda händer. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Vidre kastar sin häst omkring upp på högbens sida. 15 reben från ryggen brast, som är inte det att strida. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Och det var långbenresare, han tog sin stålstång i handen, slog ett slag efter Vidre. Stången i berget brände. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Och det var långbenresare, han tog till att jämra. Nu sitter stången i berget fast som den var slagen och hamrar. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Narin darin din darin darin din din darin din darin 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 darin din. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. En vidrig kammarsnöring sitt svärd uttryckte så hög kan trollet ett finger ifrån och därtill ett stort stycke. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Och vidrig kammarsnöring sitt svärd utdrog så hög han högbent resade så för ens fötter han dog. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda. Narin darin din darin darin din din darin din darin darin din din darin din darin darin din darin darin din darin darin din. Nu skiner solen som guldet är röda.
So, well, we've actually come to the last song of the evening here. And yes, apparently there are trolls also in the United States. So, and the proof is this traditional ballad from, I believe it's North Carolina. And because this ballad tradition, you can find it in the Americas as well. So there is this giant troll who together with his pet, a giant wild boar. No, it's a wild boar with the tusks. Yeah, it's the same family. Animals, yeah. Okay, it's okay. but wild. Scary. Yes, and they have been terrorizing the whole area. So our hero, Bangri Rui, he goes out and together with a girl that he meets who sits up in a tree hiding from that wild pig, they go to find this giant and then fights with both the wild boar and the giant and wins.
We would like to thank Susan Clark for booking us once again, bringing us back. Thank you, everyone, all of you who stayed, and we haven't put you to sleep yet, but we will. The other thing is, we would also like to thank Tony on sound and Steve on sound. Thank you. Thank you all for staying here on this dark, cold night.
Well, it's not.
Let's see, who have I forgotten? Lou and all the other volunteers, thank you so much, everyone, for being here and making
Yeah, and thank you for organizing this wonderful venue with music every week. So, and of course, if you want to know more about our songs and us, we have cards and things, and you can find us online and all that. And you can talk to us right now after the show.
Don't fight.
out to plough, he saw a lady upon no boat. A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. Fair maid, what makes you sit so high that no one can come night? A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. There is a wild war in these woods. He'll eat your flesh and drink your blood. The moogie kiddly down, kilogo. If you come down and go with me, both you and I will go and see a moogie kiddly down, kilogo. They went to the wild boar's den. They saw the bones of 1,000 men. A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. How shall I these wild birds see? Oh, blow your horn and he'll come to thee. A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. Bangri Rui blew a blast. The wild bird came cutting oak and ash. A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. Bangri Rui pulled out his dart and shot the wild boar through the willow. A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. The ground began to shake, the horse did tremble, the man did quake. A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. The giant he made such a sound, the rocks and hills and trees fell down. A moogie kiddly down, kilogo. He met Bangri Rui on a bridge. Begone you rogue, you have killed my pig. giant was he killed Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Wow. How many people were transported to several different places during this performance? That was amazing. I feel so relaxed and peaceful. I think my blood pressure is lowered by several points. Thank you for that. In a good way. In a good way. But Johanna and Scott Hongel Darcy, thank you so much for being with us, and we hope to see you again soon. And everybody, thanks for being here, and be kind to the ones you love, and most importantly, be kind to yourselves. Thank you.